Thank you, Abba, for being here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for teaching us.
Yes, Lord.
Okay. The first thing I want to do is real briefly touch upon the parashah, okay? Because there's something really important in it. Imagine that. It starts in Numbers. And it says, Adonai spoke to Moshe in the Sinai desert. That's in Egypt in the Sinai Peninsula, right? Nope. Saudi Arabia, people. Okay. In the tent of meeting on the first day of the second month of the second year. First day of the second month of the second year. Has the tabernacle now been built? The law has been given, right? The law was given in the first year. Tabernacle was built, dedicate, right? Okay. So I want to skip down to, let me just go. He said, take a census of the entire assembly of the people of Israel by clans, families. Record the names of all the men 20 years old and over who are subject to military service in Israel. You and Aaron are to enumerate them company by company. Now, wait a minute. Didn't David do this? Didn't David go and number the men? And didn't God strike them? What's the difference? Here's the difference. God wants the number. God wants to number the people and let them know what he did. The number 600,000 men, not counting Levites, over the age of 20. 600,000 men. I'm sorry, women and children outnumber men every day of the week. And that's not even the tribe of Levi.
Right.
God wants them to know what he did. He didn't lose one. Think of those numbers. Wow. David wanted to know David's strength and how many sharp men he had at his disposal to fight. That's not what God asked to do. Trust in the Lord. And as soon as David knew his sin, and God gave him a choice, he goes, oh no, I can't make that choice. No, I'll fall into your hands. He gave David a choice of punishment, and I'll fall in your hands. And who paid for the price of David's sin? See, it matters it matters who the leader is. It does matter. So you better pray for your leaders, okay? It matters. It very much matters, the decisions they make and the choices they make. And David was a man after God's own heart. Okay, I don't know where Trump is. None of my business. I pray for him and I hope his soul is saved. The decisions he makes and the things he does lines up pretty good. And he doesn't play up here. Have you all noticed that?
Yep.
He's like on a chessboard, so many moves far beyond everybody else, they have no idea. Oh, that's what he was doing. Nanya, let him do what God gave him the gifts to do.
Right.
Okay. All right. Take with you from each tribe someone who's head of a clan. These are men to take with you. Now, if you were reading and you're following along, or if you've read in the past, you would read something like, from Reuben, meaning the tribe of Reuben, Elitzur, the son of Shador. From Shimon, Shemuel, the son of Shador, right? Behold, a son. God is my rock. He is the spreader of light, or the flame and the fire. He has heard the friend of God. He is my rock. He is almighty. Praised from the enchanter, the one who is the observer of signs. My kinsman is noble. There will be recompense or reward given of God, begotten from littleness or insignificance. I think of that song, Little is Much, when God is in it. Exalted is my God, and my God is Father. He is the Son of strength. Jehovah has added double fruitfulness. My God has heard, and my kinsman is majesty. He will cause to forget. That's a reward from God. The rock has ransomed. The son of the right hand, My Father, He is judge. He will cut in two, chop. This morning as I was sitting in the back, I looked up and I realized the pecan tree in my neighbor's yard, which pecan trees are ginormous, it didn't just get trimmed. They cut it out. The whole, no, it's good. The whole landscape changed. And then I looked a little to my neighbor next door had a beautiful maple. The little maple, what do we call those?
Japanese.
Thank you. It was a gorgeous tree. One of the biggest Japanese maples I've seen. Gone. The landscape changed. Let Him cut it out of your life and let the landscape change. Some of us need our landscapes changed. We got crap in our lives that need to go. Dead is dead.
Yeah.
And your flesh has dead areas. You need to let dead areas go. Some of us have things from our past. Okay, y'all know I'm grateful that I am my father's daughter. My mother was an inveterate liar. It wasn't until I was an adult that I realized when something came out of my mouth, I thought, oh, that was an exaggeration. No, Sherry, it was a lie. That's not, and God in His grace, that's not how that's not how it happened. I just said it to be funny. That's grace. Allowing you to save face. And it got to the point where I'm like, God, I do not want to do this. This is not pleasing to you. This is not this is not you and me. But it was a learned behavior that I was completely unaware of. Totally unaware of. Till it came out of my mouth and He brought it. So see, I say to you, creating me a clean heart. And if you say, oh, I'm good. No, you're not. That right there told me you're not. Because my first place I go is, show me. First me. You don't point at other people. You don't say, because of you or you did. No. What's in me? What's in my heart? That should be the first place we go. Okay? So then after a while, it would no longer come out of my mouth, but it'd be right there. And I'd think it. And then after a while, it'd be habitual. It's something you have to choose to do. It's something you have to be conscious of, and it's something you have to take authority of. He's not going to take it away from you. You have to do it. So then after a while, I didn't even think it. I just spoke truth. Now people don't really want me to speak.
That's true.
Because truth annoys their demons. Okay, anyway. How did we get there? Oh, cutting out. Okay, so that was something He impressed upon me today about the cutting out. Let Him cut it out. But you're still going to have to do something. Okay? You're still going to have to. Okay? All right. Okay, let me get back to what name I was on. Oh, there we are. Okay. A judge. My brother is help. Isn't it interesting? Yeshua is called our brother. He's called our friend. He's called our Savior, our Father, our bridegroom. Why? Because they're all different pictures of the aspects of Him. For example, how many people can call me mom? How many can call me sister? You have different titles. You're different things to different people. One called me wife. Of course, he wasn't a husband, but I'll have to cut that out. But some of those daughter. I'm not a daughter of any of you. I was a daughter of my father. You see, some aspects of me cannot be fulfilled for everyone. Right? Softa. Yes. Oh, I cherish that one. That's my favorite title so far. I mean, it really is. That's my favorite title so far. Is Softa. Okay? Some of you call me rabbi or teacher or whatever. Okay? Not everybody in town would see me that way. I'm not that to them. You see what I'm saying? Okay. How'd we get there? I don't know.
You let us.
I know. Well, he did. All right, let me go back. Oh, my brother. Okay. A judge, my brother, is help. My kinsman is almighty. You notice that's in there a couple times. Happy. He will help me to be happy through the event of God out of the troubled. Troubled times are coming. But I'm going to hide in Goshen, my Goshen. Right?
Yep.
Okay, I will be happy.
And then I'm going to
Through the event of God.
sacrifice of praise.
Yeah, that's right. She's going to put on her dancing shoes too. And a troop that God has added because they know God and He knows them. And out of the wrestling with my brother who is evil, he has eyes that divide the mental and the spiritual to see the truth. But you could read from Reuben, Eliezer the son of Shador, and from Shimon, Shemuel the son of... Okay? There's always a message in a message. The Hebrew language is so deep and so vast. And God speaks to us and gives us if we will hunt for it like hidden treasure. Okay? These were the ones called from the assembly, the chiefs of their fathers, the clans, heads of thousands in Israel. So Moshe and Aaron took these men who had been designated by name, and on the first... Oh yeah, by the way, who designated them? Who called? God. By name. He knows your name. He knows my name. My father gave me my name. I like my name. I'm so glad my father named me and not my mother because I didn't like the name she picked. Of course, I wasn't aware of it at the time. Daddy's little darling. Joy. Wow. Fits. If you knew my father. It fits. I want to skip over now and I want to go to verse 47. But those who were Leviim, because they numbered. Okay, so there's numbers from each one of the tribes, and Joseph is counted twice, Ephraim and Manasseh, but Levi is not counted. Okay, so I'm going to pick up verse 47. But those who were Leviim, the priests, according to the clan of their fathers, were not counted in this census because Adonai had told Moshe, do not include the clan of Levi or take a census of the people of Israel. Instead, give the Leviim charge over the tabernacle of the testimony, its equipment and everything connected to it. When the tabernacles move, they go. Okay, so that's where I'm getting. This is what the people of Israel did. They did everything that Adonai had ordered Moshe. You know, when he shows us things, it's real easy. We jump right on. But don't be with the rocky path and let the cares of the world distract you. Stay the course. Okay, stay the course. Okay, the people of Israel are to set up camp by clans, each man with his own banner under his clan. So, in the middle is the tabernacle. You see that? On the east side. Who's on the east side? Moshe and the priests. Aaron and his sons. They're right in front of the door. In other words, you're going through me. And then the Levites. The Merari, the Gershom, and the Kohath. And see later, the Kohath and the Reubenites, you'll see why you think, how did part of the Levites, the Kohaths, and the Reubenites get together? How did they decide to be rebellious? Well, because they camped next to each other. And the Kohath should have been the ones that were pointing to the tabernacle in the right way and directing the people to get their act together instead of conspiring with them. You see, around the tabernacle is the priests. They're the watchmen. Okay, am I ringing bells now? Watchmen. Watchmen. Oh, Jerusalem, I have put watchmen on your walls. What are we to be? Watchmen. We are to watch what's going on. We are to pray. We are to intercede. That doesn't, do I physically have to know what's happening in DC, or do I physically have to know what's happening in my city management? Do I physically have to know what's happening in your home to pray and be a watchman for you? No. He's the revealer of spiritual things. Okay? I mean, you know, more than one of you has come. How did you know that? How do you think I knew it? I was a fly on your bedroom wall? No, I don't know. No. Right? Okay. And then the tribes go around. And so I want to do that really fast. So on the first, on the south side, think of the south steps. We were there. The head of the tribes, Reuben, Simeon, and Gad, it would be Reuben would be the lead. And they each had their own banner. So on this side, behold a son, okay? Behold a son, heard by God, and there's a troop. That's who's on the south side. Now go to the east side, and you have Yehuda, right? What is Yehuda? Praise. Then Issachar. Who's Issachar? God's recompense, his reward. Huh. How about Zebulun? Exalted. I want to be on the east side. I want to be on the praise side. The side that's exalted, the side that's rewarded, that gets the right recompense. That's that side, okay? The side that exalts God. That's the side I want to be on. The praising side, the worship side, okay? Each one of those names means something, and they're around the camp. And if you follow it, the way that they were to leave, praise leads. Praise always leads. Worship always leads. And what comes last is Naphtali. Naphtali is the last one to leave, because when they leave, they go this way. It's Judah leads, and Issachar, then Zebulun, then Reuben, then Simeon, then Gad, then the Levites in the tabernacle, then Ephraim, Manasseh, Benjamin, Dan, Asher, and Naphtali. You follow me? That's the way they walk out. The last one to leave is Naphtali. The last thing that has happened is God is going to wrestle from the evil. See? But it starts with praise. There's stories within stories. That's just in one chapter. Numbers 1. Each one also had a banner. Does anybody know what Judah's is?
The lion?
The lion. The lion. Okay, they each have one, and I'm not going there today because my goal wasn't, I wasn't led to do the whole parashah. If so, we would have done each one of the banners, what their banner was, what their lead was, what the scripture was, and there's a lot there. There really is, and there's a lot to learn. Okay. But each one of your households, what is your banner? What are you known for? What is your name lead? What banner do you carry? His banner over me is
Love.
I like that one. Right?
My name means God's gift.
I know.
That's what my name means. God's gracious gift.
God's gracious gift. Yeah. Find out what your name means. Okay? Find out what your name means. It's important. Names have meanings. And they're important. They are important. Okay? Eliana Grace, God has answered with grace. And isn't it interesting that it's happening in grace of a rededication of our country? I mean, wow. Okay, just wow. Grace upon grace upon grace upon grace upon grace. And when we walk through the fires, like the 3 Hebrew boys, young men, grace.
Eliana's walking through the fire.
Yes, she is. She's walking through her own fire right now. But she is not alone. Physically, none of us could physically be there. But she was not alone. Malachim. Ministering angels. Okay? Okay. Which I know to be true, because when I was little, they were there for me. I had a whole bunch of medical things going on in the issues, and I would go tell my parents. My beautiful lady showed up last night, sang songs to me, held me and rocked me. Well, who do you think that was? Okay, so I know it's possible. I know it's probable. Probable, not much is possible. Probable. Okay, so we're living in the times where we need to expect greater things. Expect the movement of the Spirit. Expect the power of God. Expect spiritual manifestations, and go, that was my God. That right there, that was my God.
Amen.
My friend. My Redeemer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. He's the one that leads. His banner over me. Woo, the wind. Wow.
That was him speaking.
See? The wind of the Spirit.
Now
All
the
over.
wind of the Spirit.
Hallelujah.
He praised. Praise to that, Corey.
Okay. And that's probably more realistic. You know, I was showing you the names and the troops and where they were, but this is because the Levites, the priests, the watchmen, guard the way. Show the way. Help you to, you don't want to go in like that. That's my job. Yeah, you might want to rethink that. Right? That's my job. Okay? And actually it's our job to guard the way. Not only to point to the way, but to guard the way. He's justice and mercy. Both. Okay. Now we're going to go to Genesis, which is where we were. I'm going to reread like 6 verses that we read last week just so that we remember where we were, and then go right into where we're at. And I'm going to do a lot of reading and comment, well, whatever. There you go. So Genesis 22 verse 15, the angel of Adonai called to Abraham a second time. This is right after what happened. This is after he's been obedient to sacrifice Isaac. Okay? And Isaac is a picture of Yeshua. Hold on to that. Okay? Isaac is a picture of Yeshua. The angel of Adonai called to Abraham a second time out of heaven. He said, I have sworn by myself, says Adonai, that because you have done this, because you haven't withheld your son, your only son, I will most certainly bless you, and I will most certainly increase your descendants to as many as there are stars in the sky or grains of sand on the seashore. Why? If you love me, you will.
Obey me.
How did Abraham show his love?
He obeyed God.
He obeyed. God is not going to bless your disobedience, your stubbornness, your own selfish way, your own understanding. Right? Your mind needs to be transformed and line up to his. Okay. Your descendants will possess the cities of their enemies. Yes. And by your descendants, all the nations of the earth will be blessed because you obeyed my order. Have you seen how many Nobel Peace Prizes have been won by the population that's 0.000000001% of the world?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. And
Have you
scientific
the scientific, the medicine, your phones, your iPads, your internet, your medical devices,
finances.
Yeah.
You see how
that's actually an anti-Semitic root. Yeah, there's because then you get the stereotypes, huh? The envy, yeah, jealousy and envy.
bad.
Yeah. So why do people attack me?
Because they hate God.
I don't mince words. I'm going to speak the truth. People don't like to hear the truth.
That's true.
Okay?
They want their ears tickled.
Right. And they want what I have without getting there. So God is blessing them. Why would you? There's your jealousy and covetousness, right? I want what you have. Well, then do the right thing. But that's not the way. Okay, moving on. Because you obeyed my order.
There it is.
Because you obeyed my order. So we can't, so please, if something goes wrong, don't blame me. I didn't create your mess. I'm not stepping into your mess. I didn't do it. And I might have spoken truth and pointed it out. Now you're irritated because, you know, you were going along and I didn't do it. Okay? Fling your crap back at yourself, not me. All right? But that's not how it works. Right? So we need to look into the mirror. So when you're irritated, say, I'm going to pick on these two. No, they didn't do this. I'm going to pick on them. These aren't your typical kids back here, right? Children, okay. But what happened? What if one got irritated with another and started bickering? What am I going to do? Whoa, what's up? What's wrong with you? Why are you irritated? Not what did she do or he do, right? Why are you irritated? Well, she or well, he. Nope. Why are you? Go back. Why are you irritated? Well, there you go. Now you're going to get to it. Not he or she. Okay? Sometimes in our lives, though, we do have to recognize that, okay, this person isn't true, or this one is like, you know, I go to city council. I know who they are. So if I say, it's nice to see you, I really mean it. It's really important to see you today. It's nice to see you. I know who to believe. I know when somebody's mouth is moving, you're like, their mouth is moving. Okay? So am I going to have a relationship? Am I going to trust? No. Okay? So we have to be discerning as well. How did we get there? I don't know. Oh, because you obeyed. Okay. Study to show yourself approved. Because we've been taught a lot of things that are not true. We've been taught a lot of things that are man's interpretation because they got rid of 2/3 of the Bible. So they're leaning on their own understanding, not on the full gospel, the full message, the full truth. Okay? The whole truth. Nothing but the truth. Okay, so Abraham returned to his young men. Remember he said, I and the boy will go and come back. And they got up and went together to Beersheba, the well of the oath, the seventh well of the oath. And Abraham settled in Beersheba. Afterwards, Abraham was told, Milcah too has borne children to your brother. What an interesting thing to put here. Utz his firstborn, Buz his brother, Kemuel, the father of Aram, Kesed, Hazo, Pildash, Yidlaf. No, I didn't look these names up. Bethuel, you can. Bethuel fathered Rebekah, or we say Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahor, Abram's brother. His concubine, whose name was Reumah, bore children also. Tevet, Gaham, Tahash, Ma'acha. So, why is this here in the middle? I mean, it's like between. Abraham left, but he's still aware. There's still communication with the family. Not like the phones and the internet. You know, they got to wait months, maybe years to hear news. We're not that patient. Oh my gosh. We would have a conniption if somebody doesn't answer your message in 5 seconds or whatever. Okay? And within a day, 24 hours. What took you so long? Seriously? Just saying. Okay. Although, you know, courtesy, right? It's interesting because Bethuel, he's the last born. Okay, he's the equivalent to Isaac, but Isaac is this closer in age to Bethuel's children. You follow? So it's showing you that Milcah and Nahor had children, but their children's children, right? Rebecca is equivalent to Abraham's child in age. Because you think, well, how, because there's generations. Because God knows we're curious. Okay? And we would wonder why or how. But there is communication. All right? Sarah lived to be 127 years old, and these were the years of Sarah's life. Sarah died in Kiryat Arba, also known as Hebron. Hebron. Oh, that's an interesting place. Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abram came to mourn Sarah and weep for her. And then he got up from the dead one, and he said to the sons of Het, I am a foreigner living as an alien with you. Why? He has no rights to this land. Yes, God told him to go. Yes, God said, I will give it to you, but he hasn't, and it's not his. Let me have a burial site with you so that I can bury my dead wife. Why? Because he's not going anywhere. He's not going to go. Remember when Joseph dies? Take me where? To the land of promise. Abraham doesn't go back. He doesn't take Sarah back. This is the land God promised. That's important. Where you bury your dead is important. The sons of Het answered Abraham, listen to us, my lord. You are a prince of God among us, so choose any of our tombs to bury your dead. Not one of us will refuse you his tomb for burying your dead. How odd, because they're powerful people. And they could basically tell this nomad wanderer, go somewhere, go find a different spot. But it says, not one of us would refuse you. There's respect there. Okay? There's respect there. Abraham got up, bowed before the people of the land, the sons of Het, and spoke with them. If it is your desire to help me bury my dead, then listen to me. Ask Ephron, the son of Zohar, I should have looked those up, but I did not, to give me the cave of Machpelah, and we know where that is today, which he owns, the one at the end of his field, and he should sell it to me in your presence at its full value, and then I will have a burial site of my own. And Ephron the Hittite was sitting. Oh, Hittite as in Hittite? Oh, did you know that that's where Het was? The Hittites aren't a good people, are they? They're powerful. They're warriors. They're evil and vicious. And they respect Abraham. Ephron the Hittite was sitting among the sons of Het, and he gave Abraham his answer in the presence of the son of Het, who belonged to the ruling council of the city. Oh no, my lord, listen to me. I'm giving you the field with its cave. I'm giving it to you in the presence of my people. I give it to you. And Abraham bowed before the people of the land and spoke to Ephron in their hearing. Stop. He just gave it to me. Okay, thank you.
That's not their culture.
Be a wise as serpents.
Yeah.
Okay. Gentle as lamb. So, Paul says, I am all things to all people. Paul understood the cultures he was walking into. There's nothing. So when I teach, Zarias and I were talking about this, and I said, have you read about the mythologies? I don't want you to study the mythologies. I don't want you to believe they're false gods, but you need to know about them. So do I teach mythology? I do. Why? How? If somebody comes up and says something, maybe they say something like Paul says, he walked past and he says, oh, you know this tomb of the unknown God? I saw that in Rome, by the way. There was a spot in Rome and it said to the unknown God. And I went, I know who that is. Anybody want to hear about it? That's what Paul did. Why? Because he had knowledge. You don't have to believe it. Okay? But it doesn't hurt to have knowledge. You don't have to study it in depth. You don't have to go into great detail. It doesn't hurt to have knowledge. All right. Abraham knew the people he was dealing with. He understood their culture. He's living amongst them. Does he live like them? No. How about Lot? He was a righteous man. That's what the New Testament tells us. And he lived amongst them. His wife, I think, was part of that culture, and that wasn't coming out of her. But he says Lot was a righteous man. I can't explain to you how a righteous man can live with a, that's good, Abba. Jezebel. But I've seen it. I saw my father. How did you live with an inveterate liar when you love God so much? How did you live with somebody who controls and manipulates, who's a narcissist? How? I don't know, but he did. He took to heart, it says, husbands, love your wives, and he did. Because love isn't a feeling.
Yep.
Okay? Love is not a feeling. Okay, let me see. Now where am I? I don't know. I'm fine. I'll find myself. I'm sorry.
15.
Thank you.
15.
Oh, right in the middle of 13, actually.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, okay. And so he says to Ephron in their hearing, Abraham says, please be good enough to listen to me. I will pay the price of the field. Accept it from me, and I will bury my dead there. But Ephron answered Abraham, my Lord, listen to me. A plot of land worth 400 silver. There it is. Let them talk. They'll tell you what's in their heart. Out of the abundance of the heart. If your heart is messed up, ugliness is going to come out of you. If you're greedy, you really wanted a price, it's going to come out of you. Okay? All right. Worth 400 silver shekels. What is that between me and you? Just bury your dead. Well, Abraham got the point of what Ephron had said, and so he weighed out for Ephron the amount of money he had specified in the presence of the sons of Het. 400 silver shekels of the weight accepted among merchants, 10 pounds. 10 pounds of silver?
Wow.
For a field and a cave. Which is in what we call the West Bank. I don't call it that. It's in Judea. But it's in the quote-unquote occupied West Bank. Oh, give me a break. It's in Judea, Samaria to this day. But here's the thing. They legally own it. Abraham bought it. He has a deed title. It's the only part of the country at this point in time that Abraham actually owns to bury his wife. Thus the field of Ephron and Machpelah, which is by Mamre, the field, its cave, and all the trees in and around it were deeded. There is a deed, a sale, to Abraham as his possession in the presence of the son of Het, the evil, who belonged to the ruling council of the city. And then Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah by Mamre, also known as Hebron, in the land of Canaan. At that time, it's still Canaan. It becomes Israel later. Right now, it's still Canaan, but he owns a piece of Canaan. The field and its cave have been purchased by Abraham from the sons of Het as a burial site, which would belong to him. Interesting.
Isn't that interesting, though? The first actual piece of the land was a burial piece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There are two things that are important. Where you bury your dead, and where your source of water is. Life and death. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Life and death. If you dig a well, that's like a deed. You dug the well, you're staking claim. You bury your dead. This is mine. Life and death. By now, Abraham was old, advanced in years, and Adonai had. So when Sarah dies at 127, how old is Isaac? 37. 37. She was 90 when she had him, right? 37. 37 years old. Okay? You think after that incident on Mount Moriah, she was going to turn loose at him? So what's he do? He's a man. Still submits to his father. But he got submission all wrong. He got submission all wrong. Is he his father's doormat?
No.
No. He's the future. By now Abraham was old, advanced in years, and Adonai had blessed Abraham in everything. And Abraham said to the servant who had served him the longest, who was in charge of all he had owned, who he probably purchased from Damascus. I think we heard that before. Put your hand under my thigh. They don't have contracts. They don't have written things. Okay, they don't seal things. This was the sign, because where's your thigh is your strength. Okay? So put your hand here. Boy, you break this vow, I'm going to crush you. Because your thigh is your strength. It's also, not anybody can get close enough to put their hand on your thigh. Because I want you to swear by Adonai, Yet-Heh Vav-Heh. This is his servant? Wait a minute. You mean even his servant knows who Yahweh is? Yeah. God of heaven and God of earth, that you will not choose a wife for my son from among the women of the Canaanite, among whom I am living. Isn't that interesting? Because this is where he's told him to come. This is where he wants him to possess. But he wants him to possess the land, not to take the lives and the livelihood and the belief system of the people. Right? But that you will go to my homeland, to my kinsmen, to choose a wife for my son Yitzhak. And the servant replied, suppose the woman isn't willing to follow me to this land. Must I then bring your son back to the land from which you came? And Abraham said to him, see to it that you don't bring my son back there. Stop. Abraham is specifically telling him, go to my father's house. There had to be an understanding of who the real God was. They're from the line of whom? Shem. Shem is the chosen line. There's a knowledge of God. What did he tell when he lied to Abimelech? Well, I thought there was no one here who feared God. You see what I'm saying? There's a knowledge of who God is. And so I want you to go to a certain spot, a certain place, a certain family, my own, and choose there because they have a knowledge of who God is. They know the truth. They've heard the story from whom? Shem. Abraham heard it from the same place Nahor heard it. Nahor is the grandfather to Rebekah. You follow what I'm saying? Okay. Abraham, I'm going to read 6 again. Abraham said to him, see to it that you don't bring my son back there. Adonai, the God of heaven, who took me away from my father's house and away from the land I was born in, who spoke to me and swore to me, I will give this land to your descendants. What? Canaan. He will send his angel ahead of you. Abraham was aware of angels? Yeah. He will send his angel, his messenger ahead of you. And so why are we surprised when I talk about angels and being manifest? Why are we surprised? Why are we shocked? We should know God's heavenlies. Because you know when the aliens come, they're not aliens. They're not from another planet. They're spiritual beings. Okay, just saying. And you are to bring a wife for my son from there. But if the woman is unwilling to follow you, then you are released from your obligation under my oath. See, there's a release to the oath. Okay? Because he's not to go kidnap her. He's not to steal her. Just don't bring my son back there. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham, his master, and swore to him concerning the matter. So here's the thing. When God tells you to leave a place, leave a family, leave a circumstance, leave a sin, leave. Don't go back. Lot's wife didn't have understanding of God and looked back. Don't even look back. Don't yearn. Do I miss what I had? Do I miss the relationships of my children?
Yes.
I miss nothing else that I had. Nothing. Walked away from it. Signed it over. Okay? Am I hurting? Am I doing without? No. Leave it all behind. It's not the way. It's not right. It's not good. Oh, if we only had the leeks and the what else? I like onions, but I'll grow new ones. You don't yearn. Don't mourn for what might have been. It might have been really bad. Worse. You see what I'm saying? Leave Egypt. Whatever he took you from, remove from your life, leave it. Let it go. And don't turn around and look back. It's not for you. Okay? Is it easy? From our human perspective? No. From our human perspective, it can be quite painful. But either he is God and he is my Father and he has what's best, or he doesn't.
Moral of the story would be that whatever situation we're in, if God wasn't there when we first got into that situation, God's taken, preaching us, and to let God guide us from there on, because what we made, what we're at so far, if it hasn't worked out, God's delivering us from it.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. I'll take it one step further too, and I'll say that sometimes he brings you back to the same place, same circumstance, similar, same opportunity, because we screwed up so many times, and now he's like, okay, I'm gonna give you one more try. Get it right this time. Get it right this time. I'm giving you another opportunity to do it differently, correctly. If the same situation is popping up in your life, there's a reason for that. Either you're running back to it, or he's saying, I need you to learn this lesson. I need you to do it. The way you've done it before hasn't worked. Okay, how have I done it before? Well, I keep doing the same thing over and over again, maybe a little differently, but I keep doing the same thing. Okay, don't do the same thing. He's given you an opportunity to do something different. For me, when Charlie came as a child, baby, she was sick, I got to do it different. I was telling Janet this week, I am much more firm and strict with her, and at the same time, 1,000% more relaxed. How can you do both? Because I can. I'm doing the same things I did with my kids, but without the wavering. Because I don't have two opposing me. I don't have two gaslighting me. I don't have two undermining me. I don't have two. And so I'm much more relaxed. Yes. But I'm also much more firm because I know what he showed me, how to raise a child is correct.
Yes.
And now, my gosh, when I held her, she was like, I'm like, am I holding her? There's nothing to her. She's 6 pounds and it's like, oh boy, hold on tight because, she's so light. I get to pour into this one. But I get to pour into this one without the gaslighting. And anyone who tries to gaslight, take your garbage elsewhere.
Good. Praise God.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yes, we either, as you say, step into things that we go back to things that we need to not go back to, or he's going to put in our lives things that we need to do differently. Either way, there needs to be a transformation, and not with our understanding or our way of doing things. Okay?
I think of that with the kids too, and I think Amy,
Yeah.
the mama, okay,
Yes.
have been raised differently
Yes.
than she was
Yes.
raised.
And she will be the
And
first
yet
to
they're
tell you that.
in
Yes.
the same home,
Yes.
but she's not going to make
The same
the
mistakes.
mistakes
Yeah.
that she.
She's doing it differently. And she recognizes it and sees it. And instead of getting stuck in, well, I can't do this one because I messed up here. No, this is going to be different. You see what I'm saying? You don't not go into a circumstance going, oh no, I'm mad. No. Okay, he's brought this to me again. Going to do it different or better or stronger or his way, not my way, not my thought. Okay? All right. Okay. Glasses. Let me find out where I am.
10.
I know, but it's a big section. So this entire time, by the time this all transpires, I'm gonna guess that there's a mourning period. Traditional Judaism, they mourn for a year. There's a whole big process, okay, and then some. So, the estimate is that he's about 40 years old before he gets a bride. And there we go. Oh, they didn't live very long, really? Oh, my Bible says. There's something to be said about maturity, not necessarily age and number, but maturity. He has watched his parents. He has watched his father. He's had a good example, the friend of God. Isaac is fully aware of who God is. He was a willing sacrifice. Okay? He could have overpowered his father. It's all his. Do we ever see him act arrogantly? No. Do we see him speak against Ishmael? No. When we finally get to the point where Abram dies, he and Ishmael come together. They're brothers. God didn't curse Ishmael. Okay? He didn't discard Ishmael. He chose Isaac. There's a difference. Yesterday I chose one to do one job and one to do a different job. I chose. Because I favored one over the other? No, my choice. You see what I'm saying? So, and to be Israel, really, it's tough. Spotlight. And everybody is jealous of you and hates you because he chose you. Right? So, maybe it's better to be on the outside grafted in. I don't know. When we get into it next week, the servant knows, this servant is wise. He's not, let's talk about the servant. His goal is to what? Please his master. Do you ever think he goes, oh, you don't know my master. Well, if you hadn't done it like this, I wouldn't have done it like that. Think he undermines him? Talks bad about him? Nope. Nope. The servant, I'm sure the servant was told, by the way, God has said that every male in my home is going to be circumcised. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen today.
No. We'll go to court for something else.
He said, Abraham said to the servant who had served him the longest, who was in charge of all he owned, by the way, without an heir, that would make him the heir. And here comes the heir. I want you to go pick a son for my heir so that he has an heir. Just cut you right out of the wheel. Do you see a bad attitude?
No.
Lord, but what if? What if she won't come? His concern is for who he's serving. If you want to be great in God's kingdom, your concern should be who you're serving. Your concern should be your Father's business. Your concern should be to have the heart of your Father. Church is really big about talking about, wives submit to your husband. What about husbands?
Loving your
Wives.
wife as Christ
It
loved
makes you a
the church.
servant, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Equal. Not lording over, not a doormat.
Yeah.
Same with us.
Teamwork.
We are servants. Am I God's doormat?
No.
Seriously?
Yep.
I'm not the dog he kicks?
Nope.
Don't kick my dog.
That's right.
I might throw my shoe at her,
No.
you ought to hear Pipsqueak tell that story. It's hilarious. She was telling that story when she was 2 years old. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Sorry. Yeshua. Think about Isaac. So the servant is going to go to choose a bride. He's looking for character and certain traits to complement who he's going for. He knows Isaac, and he knows what he's looking for. So in the characteristics next week, when we look at this story, maybe next week. No, probably not next week. Probably not next week. Next week's Shavuot. Okay. Think about who Isaac is by what Rebecca is. Her heart. See, Isaac must be a servant in order for him to look for some. If I come out with my camels, let her not just give me water, but water my camels. There's compassion. There's right?
Yeah.
There's hospitality.
Yes.
There's you understand what I'm saying? They've got to complement
Yeah.
each other. They have to complement each other. And so to look at Rebecca and the characteristics of what we see in Rebecca, you're going to see in Isaac. Because at the end of, there's no emotion involved. There's no emotion involved whatsoever. None. Is that a foreign concept to us? Okay? There's not even attraction involved with these two. Because they never see each other until, and then she veils. And when we read finally about him taking Rebecca as his wife, it says something very interesting. Then Yitzhak, Isaac, brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rivkah or Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. There's no emotion, there's no physical attraction for the initial period. There's no courtship as we know it. But she became his wife, and he loved her. Love is a choice. Love is not a feeling. It is a choice. And we need to learn love. God is love, and he chose us.